And I'm going to call the meeting for February 9th, 2015 to order. And we're going to ask our mayor if she would lead us in a prayer and invocation, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come this evening as we gather to attend to the business of your people in this city with the Utility Commission and its customers. We thank you for the energy that we put into what we do. We thank you that some of us have worked all day and still come out to try to prepare for your people. We ask that you bless this city, bless our agency, bless those who would make rules and regulations that would govern our agency. Be with us in this meeting as we deliberate. May we do things that will please you and do things for the people and not for ourselves. Be with us throughout this meeting is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'd like to welcome our visitors, and we thank you, Mr. Williams, for being here. We also thank our General Manager, Dan Thompson, for being present, our attorney, our Finance Manager, Pat McFall, our Mayor, Commissioners Dankel and Honeycutt. Thanks to all of you for giving up your evening to come and serve. The first order of business on our agenda is the approval of minutes for our work session meeting of January 6th and our call joint meeting of January 5th, 2015, and a regular meeting of January 12th. You've had the information before you for a few days now. What is your pleasure regarding these minutes? Attorney Bentley?
I would like to address the call joint meeting minutes for January the 5th, 2015. I have reviewed these minutes, and these minutes comport with my memory that Secretary McFall prepared. I do not ever recall anywhere in the minutes that we agreed to waive any repayment of the DDA loan, or agreed in that meeting, or offered in that meeting to just take a note and let them pay it off as they sold property. But I wanted to clarify what your memories of the meeting were, because once these minutes are passed, then I think we need to go to the Downtown Development Authority, because they are operating under the assumption that at the meeting we had, the January 5th meeting, that we essentially said we wanted a note but weren't requiring a repayment plan. That was not my memory of the meeting.
Could you help me with the page number of the paragraph?
Well, no, I thought the minutes were correct. But when I talked to the city attorney about the note that I had, the provisions for the note that I drafted, the DDA apparently told him, I believe, that they thought that we had offered to just take a note payable with an open end to give them time to sell property in means of repayment versus a schedule of repayments. So I just wanted to, before you pass this, that was what my memory was, is that we said, hey, look, come up with a plan to repay us that included principal and interest payments, which is what your secretary has laid out in here. Did any of you recall, or do you believe that that is accurately what happened in the meeting? That's what I'm asking for.
All right, anyone in response to that? Personally?
Yes.
I clearly understood from that meeting that we were expecting the $11,000 that they were due to pay us in November of 2014. I was clearly of the understanding when we walked away that they were to give us a repayment plan on a regular basis, not on an annual basis, but a regular monthly payment. We didn't have an amount,
Right.
but I understood that that was the plan. I also understood that the plan was that they would relieve the note each time they had a sale of a property, that they would relieve our note in that amount of money. And I think I understood them to say that they would pledge specific properties, the passenger depot and the supply store.
Beauty supply.
Beauty supply store, because they were the ones that were not encumbered at this time. That was my understanding. Did anyone understand anything any different than that?
I reviewed the notes right after they were sent out, as I am supposed to do, and this was my recollection. But we did video that meeting, didn't we?
We did.
Then maybe, if they feel that they know something that we don't know, we should,
Did we have anybody here from the DDA that night?
No, this was
In
the
that
call
public
meeting.
This was the
Oh, they
call,
called that
this
call
was the
meeting.
call meeting on January 5th, I think it was.
As a matter of fact, the video is with ComSouth for viewing on the public access channel. So Bobby Barnes has access to the video.
I do not recall being specific about the terms. I do distinctly remember that we sort of charged the DDA with coming up with a plan.
Right.
And I think further they've met since then and came back to us with a plan that we didn't like, that was an annual plan.
Well, it was not, there was no principal payment. You know, they
Right,
paid.
Right. But it was an annual,
Right.
so I think that confirms what I'm saying, that I didn't think that we, in our charge, if you will, to them, that we had any specifics. We just dismissed ourselves and said, y'all come up with a plan and get back with us.
But I think what I'm alluding to about Commissioner Honeycutt is the fact that in the discussions, everything that we said in the discussions led to the expectation. We didn't charge them, but we gave them our expectations clearly. That was my takeaway from the meeting. I may be in the wrong meeting, we had so many.
Well, I just don't want to continue a misunderstanding that the DDA and the Utility Commission might have had about what actually transpired in the meeting, so that we can get to a resolution of the issue that's ongoing between
I
the
agree.
Utility
And
Commission and
that's why I
DDA.
think we should review the video.
If I'm not mistaken, the call joint meeting on January the 5th was a result of their previous offer to make interest-only payments for the next 5 years and no principal, and as properties were sold, that they would use those proceeds to pay off the note. And I think that was in a public meeting on a Monday night prior to January the 5th, because I think that's what precipitated the called meeting on January the 5th.
May have been.
Well, given given my expressed concern about these minutes, I request that you authorize your recording secretary to view the video and make any adjustments or changes that he believes necessary, and you approve these minutes at the next meeting. I want them to, my recommendation is that they accurately reflect what we asked them to do. And so that if I am incorrect in my memory, then I can go back to Mr. Gerald's and say, you are correct, your memory of what happened is the correct version, and if I am correct, then I expect them to revisit this issue as well, so that we could put this issue that really does not need to keep rolling around back and forth between us to bed. And the best way to do it perhaps is to actually watch the meeting.
I'd like to do that too, since I'm also the secretary of the,
I have a copy in my office if you'd like to stop by, and we will review that whenever you get time.
That's just my recommendation.
I think it's a great idea.
So Joanne, when you get ready to view it, maybe rather than have us all viewing, let's just view it together, so if there's anything you need to don't understand about it, we can. so-
You mean at one time, so like it would be?
You and the general manager and I, we could do it together,
Okay,
maybe,
okay.
and Pat.
I have some time tomorrow. That's it.
We have a full schedule, but we'll make
Well,
arrangements to,
I can do it another time, I just,
let me know what time, if you could, we'll talk in the morning.
We can make plans about it,
Yes,
about
ma'am.
getting together tomorrow. If you're pretty flexible, I think we're the ones on the schedule tomorrow. And we'll get with you.
and I probably have time the next day as well.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do it. And we'll
O'clock in the
just,
morning.
I guess you need a motion to table approval of the January 5, 2015.
That was gonna be my question. Is it just the fifth, the meeting of the fifth
Mhm.
so
Okay, we need a motion regarding the minutes.
I move that we table the minutes from the January the fifth meeting till we've had time to review the video.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that we will table the January call joint meeting with the City of Fort Valley Utility Commission of January 5th until such time we have reviewed the video and come back to clarity on that meeting. Are there any questions regarding the motion? If not, then I call for a vote. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by show of hands. It's unanimous. And Commissioner Danko, General Manager, and anyone else who cares to join us, we'll just notify everybody when we're viewing so we can all look together if you want to, if that's okay.
We'd have to do that
As,
as a call.
as a call meeting, right. If we do it as, any of us, but you can handle that internally.
Now, as long as it's just the two of you.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I mean, making it open for everyone, if we get, with the coordination of the time, if we get more than the two of us, we would have to make it a posted note. That,
I won't attend, then you won't.
I won't either.
You won't
okay,
have to worry about that, because you're gonna have to advertise it. if you
Right.
do.
okay, all right, we're good with it. All right, thank you.
Okay.
We'll trust y'all's eyes on that.
Okay, we thank you.
Yeah, and
Okay, all right, thank you. Then it'll be Commissioner Danko.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do that, okay?
Yes, ma'am, we'll work it out in the morning.
All right, you heard that motion, we cleared the January 5th minutes, but we need action on the other two work session and the regular meeting of work session meeting of January 6th and the regular meeting of January 12th. What's your pleasure regarding those minutes?
I move that we accept or approve the minutes of January 6th and the regular meeting of January 12th.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that we will approve the work session meeting minutes for January 6th and regular meeting January 12th, 2015. Are there any questions? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. All right, unanimously carried. Our activity reports are up next. We're going to ask our general manager to take us through those reports, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening again, everyone. For your attached review, for the month of January, it was obviously first of the year, extremely busy, just short of $2 million in revenue in sold utilities. Everything was extremely busy. All the information is available for your request. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to address those at this time.
All right, we have all of our reports with us. We've had the reports with us a few days. Do we have any questions or comments regarding any of the activity reports for our general manager? I just want to report that they've done an excellent job in this winter month when the nation was in trouble with being backed up with snow and all other kinds of threats to us. We had icy days here, but I don't think we had any hiccups with our services.
No,
We
ma'am.
want to applaud
Not
our
one.
employees, all of them, for the job well done
Thank
in
you,
each
ma'am.
department. We thank them so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll make sure that that gets in the right.
In the right
Spot.
ears,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for the reports. Our year-to-date budget, we're gonna ask you to take us through that, budget and financial review.
Madam Chair, as discussed in our work session the other day, there was a few numbers that were not available. We're going to go through our first quarter review at our March meeting when we get together at Lane's.
Okay, all right. So we'll hold that item until then.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then that takes us to old business, and in old business, we have an intergovernmental note receivable with Fort Valley Main Street and DDA and Mayor Williams. We've already had our discussion regarding that, so I think it's becoming at this time that we will just table this item until such time we have a chance to take the action decided upon earlier tonight, okay? So we'll table that item. Under new business, we do have our GFA loan application. We want to hear our discussion regarding that.
Madam Chair, thank you very much. As discussed in our work session the other day, we have two GFA loans. One, which is a clean, the one that we're discussing is the drinking water situation, and it's a $1.5 million GFA loan with $500,000 principal forgiveness. The details of that are the last page on our attachment. And Madam Chair, with approval of yourself and commission, we were just looking for direction to continue forward with this process. And again, this is dealing with our drinking water situation, which is replacing asbestos-coated water pipes, specifically in the southwest Peach County region that's under construction with our sewer project right now with the county. So the timing and the stars are aligned very well with that. The second part of the GFA loan application is the clean water portion, which has been tabled. Well, it's still in process, but it has been kicked out till May, if you will. So, Madam Chair, we're just asking for continued approval with this process at this time.
I'm not sure I understand. We're not, I thought when we left, we were gonna be voting to withdraw some funds from the trust. but
That'll be coming up
That's coming.
shortly on some other items next on the agenda. Wait a minute. Let's do one at a time here. And Ms. Joanne, if there's anything else on that, will be, I think we got the cart ahead of the horse there just a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
You okay with that?
Okay.
Okay.
Pat?
You have
I'm sorry.
a statement, Pat?
We have, as Dan expressed, the Utility Commission has two GFA loan applications. The first application was approved in the January meeting unanimously. The Utility Commission has a time frame in which to accept and approve the application and authorize Dan to notify GFA that you accept their offer to loan us money for this project, which would require a motion. You simply agree to accepting the application and the offer that GFA has made. The second GFA application will be considered in the May meeting, and that is for sewer. In all likelihood, that will be approved also. If we do not take action, and I want to say within 6 months, then the application just goes away, and so
y'all need to take action. Now, after you take action to approve borrowing the money from GFA, then the city has to take action to borrow money from GFA. So my suggestion tonight is Dolly, you entertain a motion to authorize Dan to borrow the money from GFA. And then when the second one is approved, assuming it's approved in May, then you may choose to take whatever action you want to on that. Both of them involve principal forgiveness, a substantial amount of principal forgiveness, very low interest rates, and 20-year payback.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Any other need for any further explanation regarding the action needed here regarding these two GFA loans?
You're just voting on the first.
We're voting on one tonight, and we understand we have until May to get the other one.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
it will be, we expect it to be approved in their May board meeting, and
Which means it'll get to us.
for reference purposes, the motion should refer to DWSRF 14-001. That's what has been approved by GFA.
And we are borrowing 1.5 million, expecting forgiveness of the 500,000. 1,500,000, and expecting forgiveness of the 500,000. So total amount would be 1 million.
1 million.
Okay.
And that's the same amount for the second loan as well,
Okay.
is it?
There's different
A little
figures.
bit different.
A little bit different figures, but
Okay.
it's about the same.
Okay. All right, any other questions regarding this GFA loan application and its approval? All right, and the floor is open for you to express your pleasure regarding it.
I'll move, Madam Chairman, that we, if Pat, I'm not going to attempt to restate it, but.
I got it.
Okay,
You so moved.
I will move.
Usually when you can't recite the motion, you just so moved is what I hear. Okay, we want to make sure though that the record will reflect that it is in reference to DWSRF 14-001, that GFA loan application.
Second.
Okay. You've heard the motion and the second. Do we have any further discussion regarding this motion? If not, then I call for a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. All right, it's unanimous. And the next item, thank you for that vote. The next item is the high pressure regulator station renewal project. It's $155,280, and that's the amendment that you were asking about. Commissioner Baker. Okay.
Madam Chair, thank you very much. You are absolutely correct. The next three items, and I'd like to talk about them just one at a time briefly. Item B is in boy, high pressure regulator station renewal project that we discussed in the work session the other day is a much needed repair for our natural gas distribution system pipeline. And as our chairman said, that is $155,280 that we will ask for a budget amendment. The second item C is in Charlie, our AutoCAD maps for our telecom project that we also discussed in our meeting the other day that are not done. This is something that we really believe is a good tool to go with our water mapping, sewer mapping, gas mapping, things of that nature. And that is a $22,685 budget amendment that we would ask for consideration. Madam Chair, the third item is item D as in dog. Our McLean water plant reservoir that is under refurbishment now, that was built in 1930, came under some additional repairs that are needed at this time for an additional $54,500 that we are asking for budget amendment consideration. With those three items in mind, that totals $232,465,000. 232,465 that we are asking commission to do a budget amendment to our budget and seek those funds through our municipal competitive trust, which would be Chairman Horton and Pat making that withdrawal. And that's to the penny on those three items.
All right, you've heard the explanation of what the funds will be used for and how we are making these adjustments. These are budget amendments and adjustments. What is your pleasure?
Madam Chair, I can't stress enough how fortunate we are to be able to use that competitive trust in situations just like this. And it's because of decisions that our commission has made in the past that we have done our due diligence and put that money away just for things just like this. So thank you for your due diligence as well.
It seems as if I remember in the work session, the question of the software for the CAD maps, the telecom project, when it tossed around back and forth as to whether we should order that at this time or not get it from the competitive trust at this time.
Was that the billing software? I think that was something different.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It was the NISC.
Oh, okay, okay,
So we're gonna keep that as a placeholder.
okay,
Anyway, but yes, ma'am, thank you.
okay.
Okay, any other questions regarding this? Okay, maybe I want to know why we need to keep it as a placeholder.
The NISC, the 100,000. Hopefully that they are very close to getting their program together that's gonna be more tailored for the utility commission dealing with water, gas, and sewer, not primarily electric. We're still courting each other,
Okay,
if you will. Yes, ma'am.
all right.
Good question, though.
All right, any other questions regarding this item? These items collectively?
I would suggest that items B, C, and D could be combined as capital budget amendments. I would ask that item E, since the motion merely authorizes the chair and the finance manager to withdraw the funds, that it be treated as a separate motion.
What's your recommendation again now? Capital budget items would be B, C, and D?
You could choose to amend the budget for items B, C, and D with one motion. I would suggest that the second action that needs to be taken is for the utility commission to authorize you and I
To take that action.
To withdraw the
Clearly understood.
funds to fund the
Very
capital
clearly
project.
understood, it's not all collective. Actually, item E is a combination of the three above. It's the,
Yes.
so they're two separate items.
So should we go backwards on that and make the motion to withdraw from the municipal competitive trust first?
Well, it doesn't
Either way,
matter.
doesn't matter.
But there's two
And
separate
then
actions.
amend the budget.
There's really two separate actions.
Okay.
Put the money there before you spend it, is, I guess what I'm
Amen.
saying.
Okay. Any other discussions regarding this?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we authorize our finance person and general manager to withdraw $232,465 from the municipal competitive trust.
It needs to be the chairwoman and the finance director.
Chair and finance, whoever signs off on it, the chair and the finance person, to withdraw the $232,465 from the municipal competitive trust for the purpose of capital expenditures.
It's been properly motioned and seconded that we will be authorized, the finance manager and your chair will be authorized to withdraw from the Municipal Competitive Trust Fund $232,465 for capital budget expenditures. We've discussed it. Do we need any further discussion? If not, then I call for a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. All right, it's unanimously carried. We're gonna need now to approve the capital budget amendments. So I'm gonna call for a motion for the capital budget amendments.
That being said, I make a motion that we approve a budget amendment totaling $232,465 for capital expenditures.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and seconded that we will approve the capital budget amendments in the amount of $232,465. Any discussion regarding that? If not, then we call for, or any questions?
I will enumerate the three projects with the individual amounts of money totaling the $232,465. That language will be in the motion identifying the three specific projects and the dollar amount associated with those projects, the total amount.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, then I call for a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. It's unanimously carried. All right,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
that's all we have on the agenda. I do want to remind each of us that we have the Black History Scholarship Luncheon at Fort Valley State next Monday at 11 o'clock. And our table is reserved and our tickets are in hand. So we want to, again, encourage you to be available, if at all possible, to join us at that luncheon. It's going to be a great time and for a great purpose. It's the annual scholarship luncheon, and it's typically held on President's Day. Open to the general public, and I think there are some tickets still available for sale. All right? Anything else should come before the good of this meeting? Then I want to thank each of you for being present. I want to,
I
okay?
got one quick question.
All right?
The asbestos pipe, South Beach.
Yes, sir.
Are we, I don't want to confuse this, but are we pursuing a plan for the north side of the, west side of the county?
Yes, sir.
Where we have the same pipe?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
That's all.
With that being said then, thank you